You won't find townspeople loitering aimlessly in towns anymore. Each denizen performs tasks that make sense in their environment. To impart the towns and cities with a greater sense of life, Bethesda has populated them with mills, farms, mines that give the NPCs believable tasks to occupy their day. In the forest village we visited during the demo, most of the citizens were hard at work chopping wood, running logs through the mill, and carrying goods through the town. So there's wood cutting. There's going to be wood cutting in Skyrim. The improved Radiant AI technology is also more aware of how a citizen should react to your actions. As you perform tasks for them or terrorize them by ransacking their home, the NPCs develop feelings about you. If you're good friends with an NPC and barge into his house during the middle of the night, he may offer you lodging rather than demand you leave the premises. Your friend would let you eat dinner. Your friend would let you eat the apple in his house. If you swing your weapon near an NPC, knock items off their dinner table, or try to steal something of value, they'll react with an appropriate level of hostility given their prior relationship to you.
Freak.
We have a screenshot here, which we've already seen. However, I happen to notice there's a second page. Havoc. The expansive Oblivion and Fallout 3 settings created a wonderful sense of place, but the robotic and unrealistic character animations sometimes betrayed the sense of immersion the environments imparted. Aware that there was a problem, Bethesda enlisted Havoc's new behavior technology to make Skyrim's characters and creatures feel with the proper sense of movement. We looked at a bunch of animation solutions, and this is about the tippy-top, state-of-the-art stuff out there. I think we're the first really big game to use it. Havoc Behavior is a flexible animation tool that allows the developers to rapidly prototype and preview new animations and blend them together seamlessly with a few mouse clicks and minimal code support. Bethesda is using it to create more nuance in character and creature movement, make special effects, and even control how characters struggle to move when trapped in environmental hazards like spiderwebs. Characters now transition more realistically between walking, jogging, and running, and the increased nuance between animations has allowed Bethesda to better balance the combat in both first and third-person perspective by adjusting timing values for swings, blocks, depending on your perspective. We finally made a significant jump in how players in the third-person perspective.
Third-person, dude.
The increased animation fidelity and diversity has enabled Bethesda to ditch the awkward dialogue camera perspective that paused the game and presented you as an extreme close-up of the person with whom you're speaking. Now the camera stays in the same perspective used during combat and exploration, and players are free to look around while engaging in conversation. Rather than drop their activities to give you their undivided attention, the NPCs continue to go about their business while in discussion also. For instance, a barmaid may continue to clean cups while talking, and even move from behind a counter to a seat. A mill worker chopping wood may engage in conversation without turning away from his duties, only occasionally glancing towards you during the exchange. Perhaps the most impressive use of behavior technology is how Bethesda is using it to create dragon animations. Bethesda has worked meticulously to make sure the beasts look powerful and menacing when banking, flapping their wings, gaining altitude before making another strafing run, breathing fire on their hapless victims. None of the dragon's actions are scripted, and the behavior helps make their movements look non-mechanical, even when the dragons are speaking or shouting. With all this technology at its fingertips, surely Bethesda could put players on the back of a woolly mammoth or a fire-breathing dragon, right? When we ask, for the first time during our visit, Howard claims up, we're not talking about mounts. We're not talking about mounts yet, he says coyly. Radiant story. Before they started planning missions for Skyrim, Howard and his team reflected on what they liked about their older projects. They kept returning to the randomized encounters in Fallout 3 and Daggerfall. To build off the success of those models and improve the experience so the random encounters feel less forced or arbitrary, Bethesda undertook the ambitious task of constructing a new story management system dubbed Radiant Stories. Many quests are still completely governed by Bethesda, But Radiant Story Systems helps randomize and relate the side quests to players to make the experience as dynamic and reactive as possible. Rather than inundate you with a string of unrelated mundane tasks, it tailors missions based on who your character is, where you're at, and what you've done in the past, and what you're currently doing. So basically they're saying no longer will you be doing the quest and you're just going into a cave to kill 5 or 6 goblins to help some people out, which wouldn't make sense in their situation because some of them already have weapons. They could kill the goblins themselves, or the goblins aren't a real problem in their town. I mean, they're sitting in a cave. You know, quests are going to be tailored. If you're an Argonian, you might have a quest where you have to do something that only an Argonian could do. Only Argonians can breathe underwater. Maybe you have to go retrieve something from a river. You know, they come to you. They want you to swim in these depths and get something from there. You know, if you're a Nord, you know, maybe you're better at the mountains. You know, the mountain ranges better. Maybe you need to climb up somewhere. You know, quests are going to become tailored now. They're going to be focused on your character. It's going to be more immersive. It's going to help you feel like you are that character. And that's really important with the Radiant Story aspect. This game's looking very pro.